video работает, да? Webcam. Yeah, okay, good. So at the same time, the session is about broader context. Horizon is not only a funding instrument, it's a platform for international collaboration, knowledge exchange, institutional development. Participation in such a program allows us, Uzbekistan, to strengthen our research capacity, position our institutions more effectively in the global stage. I would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome our distinguished speakers and the partners, representatives of European Union delegate to Uzbekistan, our colleagues from the National Erasmus Office, and our expert speakers, NCPs, who will share the valuable insights from the evaluator's perspective as well. Your contribution to today's session is highly appreciated. From my perspective, both being a dean and a national contact point, I would like to emphasize one key message. Horizon is accessible to our researchers, but the success requires preparation, strategic thinking, and a strong partnership. I encourage all participants to engage actively, ask questions, make full use of networking opportunities during the session. I hope today's discussion will not only enhance our understanding, but also inspire us to take next step to forward developing successful proposals. With this, I would also like to invite our delegate of European Union, Mr. Christos Mazaropoulos, to make his speech, and also the topic of it, why the Horizon is important, why collaboration with European Union is important. So welcome to the Christos. Thank you. Yeah. You want also your slides, yes? Which one is that?
It was saved on the on the screen on the desk.
Let's
see if it's
okay.
Yeah, he said, yeah, exactly. Yeah, click that. Click that.
Which one?
This one. Yeah, this is me. That's one.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Okay. And also, okay. And also, let me open up. Oh, that's why offline I was very much keen to. Is it visible?
Super. No, it's okay. I know the. Is it visible, the presentation, or no?
Yeah, let me share. What is it? This one, right?
Yes, exactly. Super. Assalamu alaikum. I'm excited to be here with you and to talk a bit about during this week why this program is very valuable and why we think it's worth maybe your time, spending time to look into it and possibly even to apply and be part of that huge, maybe the biggest world program on research and innovation. But I'm going to be not the one who's going to be the expert today here telling you what Alisha described. Indeed, you need sometimes, the practical tips, you need the inside information. I will a bit be that guy who will tell you a bit how that all fits within a broader vision, how that fits within a broader political context. So I hope you won't find it too boring while I describe what kind of the European Union wants to do here, and then how possibly we can start seeing the links between kind of the political ambitions and the goals with this particular project and program. I'm going to stick to some slides. I will not explain overly. I think if it's okay, Alisha, you can also share after this session with you, so you can always, in your own time, look at it. Just to say that we are indeed living, so the EU-Uzbekistan relations are not cut off from the global and the broader trends, right, that we witness. And I'm glad here in an academic environment where I think sometimes we can be a bit more brainstorming and a bit look into topics and issues here that as, let's say, as educated, well-studied people, we can a bit exchange on that. So indeed, we have a lot of particular global dynamics in our hands, which come from classic conflicts, war, regional, which we witness at the moment, as you know. Even Central Asia at the moment looks like an island of stability if you look what's happened outside this region, which is amazing to think that here things are not as affected as really some parts of the world very close here actually are happening. And you can see a number of other topics that we all kind of see in the news. Sometimes, yes, they also happen here, but also happen around the world. And it's good that we keep that in mind as well, because any good research program and work has to have that broader context as well in their mind. So you see here some of the topics: climate change, right? And natural disasters. I mean, climate change is a big topic, including for the Horizon program. It's something that we need to see their impact, how much of a man-made impact there is on that. We have pandemics on the health side, pandemics and global health risks. I mean, we just came out of a huge thing that has impacted us, not from a health even perspective, but our social lives also been hugely impacted by that pandemic and how it was managed globally. Other topics, migration, obviously, and forced displacement. Here you do have migration going out of Uzbekistan, but also coming back in. So there's both trends happening, and cross-border as well, movement of people, democratic backsliding, indeed, some reforms towards more openness and participation from citizens don't seem to go ahead in many parts of the world. Weak economic growth, actually, Uzbekistan is here, I would say, even on the exception side, but because globally economic growth is not very fast, going very fast ahead. And so the big numbers that we saw maybe a decade ago globally are not at the moment happening, like double-digit, for example, growth in parts of the world. New technologies and artificial intelligence here, all these new technologies that come into our lives and how much they can impact our individual lives, but also political systems, economic systems, and so on. Security, terrorism, still issues on that, radicalization of people, and so on. So you see, there's a lot of topics in dynamics, and research and innovation is needed a lot here in order to be able to grasp them, to put them as part of something broader and something that can be of use both from an academic angle, but also more politically, economically, socially can also be useful, these programs. So yeah, we live in a complex world. I mean, you see the different arrows going left and right and up. We actually live in what maybe for international relations scholars is what's called the complexity of the international system at the moment. It's a very complex system. Themes, layers, actors, they all are at a big interplay, and it's very difficult to grasp all that. And that's why research here and innovation and Horizon program, I think, is very important in this one. All right, a few things about the European Union. So we start to drill down a bit. I mean, the European Union has several goals for itself, right? One thing is we have Europe and the European continent and trying to make that a peace continent and trying to integrate that continent. We have regions that are a bit outside Europe, like in the North Africa, the Middle East, what we call Eastern Europe, where we also have special interests and special needs to work with them. And then we have the broader world here where we go now. Of course, Central Asia in particular, Asia, Latin America, Africa, where we need to have, we've decided we needed in the last year, we did a new approach, a renewed approach to a better economic foreign policy of the European Union that can address certain issues on trade, on reforms, on partnerships, on how we collaborate more strategically. And then the last priority that generally the European Union, the Commission, the one in the institutions of the European Union said, also the global system as such, the multilateral global system, and how that needs to become more efficient, become more tailored to the needs of the countries, which sometimes it has not done so. I'm not going to stick too much, just to say that the European Union, through the money that it gives for its external relations, for its external actions, together the European Union with the 27 European countries that are the members of the European Union, together we are the biggest donors of what is called other aid, foreign aid, development cooperation. There are different terms behind it, but we are the biggest. That's why, and counting as part of that money that you can see here is also what we contribute, what Horizon contributes to that. So the Horizon program that goes for our international partners like Uzbekistan is part of that money. So we generally are the biggest donor in the world, the European Union and the 27 member states. Okay. So just to give you now the priorities. What are our priorities in general? So how we come up with our priorities so that you get a bit how the thinking in Europe goes. So the European Union itself has its own set of priorities, right? The European defines what we think we want to do in the world, what kind of topics we need to work on, what's of our interest in the European Union. And that we have here on the right side, the European interest. They can have a very economic angle. They have more political angle. Sometimes, stability, for example, right? Stabilization of some conflicts is in our interest. Avoiding wars, like in Ukraine, like the Russia's invasion on Ukraine. We want to stop that. The Middle East is flaming. The interest is that, and its impact is so huge on Europe and in Central Asia in the midterm, for sure. So we will all have an interest here to have more peaceful relationships and stop this kind of conflicts. So there are a number of priorities. And such priorities also can be fighting climate change, right? Priorities can be how we can collaborate on new technologies, for example. There are a number of priorities we have. Then we look at the countries. Okay, so what the country is telling us, what are their priorities? And there you have most of the countries have their own strategies, like Uzbekistan, the Uzbekistan 2030 development strategy, where it lays out, okay, for my economy, I want a modern economy. I want to invest in more private sector, more foreign direct investment. I want to protect my environment more. There are a number of priorities. And then a last circle underneath, we also need to look then, okay, so do we have the means to do that? Do we have the tools? What kind of tools do we need? And all of that, these three bubbles need to come in some kind of a common understanding, a common bubble, a common area, where we can identify, okay, these are now the areas where we think the European Union and Uzbekistan and the means to deliver on these common goals can come together, find a common space. And that common space is what, we can call investments here or development projects or strategic projects. There are different terms you can use. So it's like it's a Venn diagram. In academia, I think we're all using sometimes Venn diagrams to identify this common space where I think things come together. So that's how the thinking goes. Now, in order to, from the European Union side, in order to work on some concrete strategy, we have come up with what we call the last 5 years, what we call Global Gateway. It's like it's a strategy. It's a European Union international investment strategy. China has its own such strategy. It's called Belt and Road Initiative in English. The Americans have a similar, their own such initiative. So big players have something like an international strategy. We call it Global Gateway. And what is Global Gateway? It's a bit focusing on how we can build infrastructure projects, which we think sometimes is what really is needed from our partner countries. Energy, water projects, these things are needed. So we have something in place. And what kind of characteristics, what does it have? It entails, it has a certain number, or it's what we say, for us, it's a value-based comprehensive offer. In a sense, it's an infrastructure project, but infrastructure has hard and soft components, and we're trying to put the hard and soft components together. And I will explain a bit later when we go more details, for example, what these are. For sure, it has to be aligned with what the government here wants, what the EU wants, and also with the international agenda. For example, the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations, addressing also the global agenda a bit as well. Then private sector, our investment agenda definitely needs to have the contribution also from the private sector. Why? Because the European Union being a public body, public bodies have money, but they don't have a lot of money, let's say, sometimes. Yeah? So they're more limited. And the big money, the big resources sometimes can come from banks, finance institutions, and the private sector, because they can mobilize bigger amounts of money. They can do the investments, and of course we're expecting something back, obviously some profits and so on, but they can mobilize. So big projects which in big money need also to have some kind of a private angle to that. And we're trying to mobilize European, for example, private sector in the different investments. It's from Europe, you will hear a lot, but we're not doing it only as a European Union institution, but we are working very closely aligned with the European Union member states. Those who are present in particular countries. In Uzbekistan, for example, very present is Germany, very present is France. We have Poland, Latvia, Czechia. So there are, let's say, up to, I would say 10 countries that we usually, from my side, we work very closely together. And we're trying to align what we do, and we make a division between us as Europeans, how we work, what we focus on, and so on. And then the last point, which I will explain also in the next slide, is to say infrastructure, very important, like an energy project, very important. But it also has to make sure that it's not just a project in itself, but does it create local value? Does it engage local communities? Does it bring resources, money, taxes to those where it's built, this infrastructure, so that it has a sustainable long-term impact, okay? And part of that, so you have the infrastructure in the middle, and then around it, as Europeans, we say we're trying to look at different angles so that it becomes more grounded as an investment. So we can look, for example, here on issues of regulations. So let's make sure also that the regulations here are indeed enabling a good investment. Let's look how, let's say, gender issues are addressed so that women are not disproportionately affected by a particular investment. Let's look at skills and education, which is why we're here, because also skills and education are usually very important to invest in that, so that an infrastructure project possibly can benefit from skilled people in the country. I mean, it's worthless doing a big investment on a project, but no local or no person or very few in the country can actually work on that. Why are you doing it in the first place? So these things need to be from the start thought out and invested in. So we are saying we are also looking into this kind of broader enabling environment, as we call it, which again, you can see more here, that particular standards are in place, the rule of law is in place, tech transfer and research and development next to skills and education, consultation with civil society organizations, and so on. And let's go now to our particular case, so that we can put the Horizon program in context, why we're doing it here. This is just a graph to show you that the European Union is not it's a new player here. We have been here. But it's clear from the diagram that you can see here, things have been, our engagement, our interests, and our commitment here has been increasing in time. And you can see from the, let's say, I'm taking an indicative timeline right from 2011 right onwards, you can see how much from the European official development assistance, the development aid, what's also called, from our aid money, how it was up to the mid 2010s, right? But then you can see it started growing up with a bit up and downs, but you see the trend is clearly going up, which means we have actually Central Asia has become much more of high interest for us to work, to partner with, okay? Central Asia in general, Uzbekistan definitely is the case here. So, and you can see also then the big amounts there, the EU institutions, for how the European Union as such has put in the last 8 years, 17 to 24, 300 million of grant money, which means it's money to just, it's not a loan, it's not a guarantee, it's just grants. It's like, I don't want to say free money, but it's money that you just give to someone without expecting money to be given back. And Team Europe, which means also the other countries of the European Union, how much they give. And what have we mostly invested in Uzbekistan in the last 7 years? Which areas have we invested in? First and foremost, education. There is an interest. So scholarships, Horizon programs, Erasmus, secondary university education, vocational training, so technical skills. That has received the most money that we have given to this country. That's the first area, which is very good, important message, because that's why we're here as well, to discuss that. So education is our first area that has received most money in the last 8 years. And other areas you can see, it's on poverty, work on money on poverty, on partnership, which is capacity building, trade, technology, life on land, which means agricultural, agri-food work, and so on, and peace and justice. So also on capacity building in security issues, on justice, fighting corruption, and so on and so forth. So these are the top 5 areas of work. Obviously, you can see that's it's public. It's a public info because we transparently always publish what we give. But you can find it if you want online. But anyway, you can use that slide for your interest. Now, last year was a big year, just to say, for our relationships, the European Union and Uzbekistan. We had three major, let's say, milestones last year. The first one was the first ever Central Asia European Union meeting summit with all the presidents of the 5 countries of Central Asia, with the leaders of the European Union, and we agreed on a number of issues, from working on security challenges, improving trade, particular areas of cooperation like critical raw materials, water, transport, climate change is the areas where we need to work together. It was in the declaration signed together last April, so a year ago. And promotion of rule of law, human rights, and fundamental freedoms. Excellent. And then in October, President Mirziyoyev visited Brussels, visited the European Union headquarters. And we signed together a renewed agreement how Uzbekistan and the European Union can work together more. And we agreed that what we need to do is definitely improve trade relations between us. More trade can happen between the European Union and Uzbekistan. Establish better dialogue channels. So to have more discussions, because through discussions, you can raise issues, solve issues, of course, and obviously work on areas of sustainable development, like the ones that you can see from the summit declaration. And then, of course, a few months ago in November, we also organized, as the European Union here, 3 major events: economic forum, so economic development of the country; transport and connectivity forum, how we can make Uzbekistan a hub, a transport hub that can connect Central Asia with Europe, very important, the transport corridor; and tourism, also very important for this country to increase its tourist flows from outside the region, right? Good. If I had to analytically a bit present what are the areas a bit of work, of partnership with Uzbekistan, first is a trade, yeah, and it has its own little tools. The one it's called the GSP Plus, which is a general set of preferences. It just means for most products that you send things to Europe, they don't have any tariffs, 0 tariffs for you. It's like 70% of the products that you send have no tariffs. And Uzbekistan is one of the 8 countries in the world that European Union has given this very particular preferential agreement. And this EPCA is what I just described before. It's like this new agreement that was signed with President Mirziyoyev in October, which talks about how trade can become more smooth between us. Then strategic investments, thematic areas, how we work together. Here we have this global gateway investment strategy, and I will give you one more slide on that so you can see exactly what is the priority areas, because I will also inform you when you want to do a Horizon application. And of course, regional cooperation, because we are also putting a lot of money to have regional programs. So because we know some of the issues in Uzbekistan are common to Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan. Okay, it's a very particular case, but there are a lot of common things. And we do think having the European experience, how we work regionally in Europe, we can, I think, hopefully give you also good practices, how you can work as a region together to solve problems. And then peace and security, stability, peace, security. So we have programs on cross-border relations. So we do have programs that help on the customs relations, on cross-border issues, new digital systems. So we are working with you on that. And we work also on counterterrorism and security issues as well here. So thematically, because that is where also the Horizon program now I will tell you how you can also start thinking. We have certain priorities here, more concrete priorities, which we think probably they will, somebody looking at them and trying to come up with some kind of research agenda, research proposal on this, probably has a higher chance, let's say, of making it more politically relevant. And that is something a proposal should highlight, especially if your research work and the collaboration, the proposal you want to do says, oh, my research proposal is linked to what the EU and the Uzbekistan has agreed on as a strategic project for Uzbekistan. I think that kind of gives it already a stronger position, to my mind. But of course, your colleagues here will explain further when they take the floor. So what are we focusing on? What are the 5 projects? Critical raw materials. Yeah. very important. There are a couple of sites here where we think we can work a lot, and the European Union definitely is very interested to work with you on that, almost some more modern extraction means, rather than the more old, dirty extraction, which were polluting the environment, creating bad conditions for local populations. So critical raw materials, energy, water, environment, big projects in the region, in Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, impacting your water resources here in Uzbekistan. And I think that's an area we are working on, and we put a lot of money here. I mean, just to say that the Rogun Dam is almost a 2.5 billion euro, $3 billion project. So big money, not just from the Europeans here, it's also the Asian Development Bank, the World Bank is part of it, but the Europeans are putting almost half of that money also to build such big infrastructure projects. And then we have a number of irrigation projects in the Aral Sea, in Fergana Valley. So it's a big interest for us. Generally, energy, water, environment, it's something we want to work with you. Digital transformation, absolutely. New technologies, how you can improve digital coverage of the country. Yes, the cities, I mean, I've been here now 6 months in this city. I mean, I have very good connections. My mobile phone works perfectly, but I understand also if you go outside, things that can be not as fluid, as fast as well. So there is a good project we are working with the Ministry of Digital Technologies on bringing satellite connectivity. And that will very quickly and with very low cost, we think cover most big parts of the country with a very, very good fast internet. But there is also other here actions on the digital side. So we are on that. Then we have the transport/trade, very important part. So how we can create a corridor starting from Central Asia, mostly from Uzbekistan through the Caspian Sea, so Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, question mark, using the Caspian, going then to the Caucasus, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia, Black Sea, and then go to Europe. So how that can become quicker, more efficient, cut down the times of transport, because it's, time is crucial in this work. So we're working on that with you. And then agri and regional value chain. So improving a bit practices on the agricultural, making more efficient the use of the products here and so on. And then that box on the top right corner just says, yeah, you have big priorities, but we also put money on activities that kind of enable them and make them more sustainable, such as good governance, looking at civil society, women, with the role of women in all of that, and making sure that the public service, that the public administration is more efficient and more modern, and then TVET and research, so training in vocational education, and research work, crucial part should be of some of these priorities, cross-border migration, right? So you see how that all goes. To finish, because I think I've taken too much time now from the next speakers, concluding thoughts. How does Uzbekistan benefit from Horizon, in my mind? You can access European Union funding. Yeah, it's an additional source of money which you can now look into and get something out of it. Capacity building, meaning you're going to be in touch with some standards that are maybe there are different sets of standards than this one here. So capacity building important. Global networks. The Horizon program actually, and as you rightly said, Alisher, it's not just getting funding. It's about networks. You're getting part of a family or a network, a bigger network, where you can understand, oh, my research work is part of another research project happening somewhere else. So maybe there is some collaboration. So you can start already building on this kind of work. Policy alignment. Indeed, that this research is part of a program policy world, which is also very interesting. That academic work is not staying academic, but becomes also maybe sometimes real life policy related work. Economic diversification. So it's about supporting a country's economic growth, not through some kind of money, but also through technologies and agribusiness and tourism. So finding other means. And finally, Horizon as a vital tool for deepening the relations. Yes, there are challenges here, but research and innovation that we can look through the Horizon program, growing alignment of the reforms in this country with the European Union priorities, unlocking funds, better networks, faster innovation, and essentially becoming Uzbekistan a strategic partner for the European Union and the other way around as well. So that's my presentation. Thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have, of course, any questions, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christos. It was very good, comprehensive, good information. Good to know priorities from the overall, from European perspective down to Horizon 1. So very good. Thank you very much. The next our speaker is the national NCP, Dr. Johan Gafurov. He will be speaking about who are the NCPs and what their roles are. Because when we are talking about the project and idea, you need a contact point. You would like to know more about what the call is about or how to get information, or you need a guide. So the NCPs here are the people who can guide you, who can help you, especially this the network of different calls and different kind of fundings. There might be the quite good torch to lighten up maybe the way out to how to find it. So so Johan Greke, floor is yours.
Thank you.
I shared. Okay.
Sure. Assalomu alaikum, hurmatli ishtirokchilar. Good day, everyone. And it's my great pleasure to be here. And taking the opportunity today, I would like to express my sincerely appreciation to organizers for organizing such valuable events. And I'm confident that such events will contribute to achieving strong results in the future. Today, I'm gonna present the topic about the nation contact points, as we usually, or NCPs, as we usually called, in Horizon projects. And first, let's define who is NCPs. Okay, NCPs. NCPs, it's not national contact points, are officially appointed experts who provide guidance on EU research and innovation programs. They act as a bridge between the European Commissions and applicants and support participation in Horizon Europe. If you consider the main function of the NCPs, they can be presented as follow. You can see in this slide. So first, the main function is information hub. The NCPs acting as an information hub, they're delivering up-to-date information about funding programs, call for proposals, eligibility criteria, and submission guidelines tailored to national context. The second main function is expert consultations. The NCPs providing personalized guidance on partner search, proposal development, legal compliance, financial planning, and intellectual property management. The next main function is training events. The NCPs organizing workshops, training sessions, and information days to equip potential applicants with essential skills and knowledge for successful proposals. The last one is program advocacy. The NCPs promoting horizon opportunities within their country, building awareness amongst researchers, universities, and business about available funding routes. Next slide. Why engage with NCPs is important? Because we can justify as a follow. The first, lower entry barriers. NCPs demystify complex bureaucratic procedures, making EU funding accessible to researchers regardless of prior experience with Horizon programs. The second one is enhanced success rates. Experts consultations and proposal reviews significantly increase your probability of securing funding through refined competitive applications. The next one is network access. NCPs facilitate connections with reliable partners for consortia building, expanding your collaboration opportunities across Europe. And last one is resource efficiency. Access comprehensive, reliable information from a single trusted source, saving valuable time and resources during the proposal preparation. In the last slide, you can see our national NCPs in Uzbekistan. Here's Kiril Baiva Gulshoda, the NCPs for MCA, and Kudratxon Bahadirov, who is NCPs for Cluster 5, Climate, Energy, and Mobility, including related partnerships. And Alisher Pulatov, Mary Skłodowska-Curie Actions, Cluster 2, Culture, Creativity, and Inclusive Society, and Cluster 3, Civil Security and Society. The Igor Vikhrov, who is responsible for the Cluster 1, which is health, related with health. And the last one is, it's me, Johan Gafurov, NCP for the Cluster 6, Food, Bioeconomy, Natural Resources, Agriculture, and Environment. So, we can conclude that NCPs play a key role in supporting participation in EU programs. They raise awareness about the funding opportunities, provide guidance on goals and topics, support proposal preparation, assist in partner search, and organize training and capacity building activities. In the last slide, you can see the slide. All the participation, all the NCPs, they created in social media their group. Let's say in Telegram, they have already created their separate group for each clusters, and you can join it accordingly and do your best to get a good proposal preparation and get guidelines from each NCPs. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Johan Gafurov. So again, we're going to be showing more information about what cluster, what areas are responsible. So you may approach and talk, and Johan Gafurov, if you're doing research or would like to do the project regarding his clusters, you're also welcome to approach him during our break. So there have been a couple of suggestions that saying some of the participants have not received agenda. So just in the start, we were a little bit in a hurry. We're still in a hurry, but so just to let you know the agenda-wise. So I'm just going to put it here. Agenda was after the Christos first council head of the cooperation, we have Johan Gafurov's presentation, and then also we have Gulshoda Kiril Baiva's presentation, and then I will do my presentation about Horizon overall, and then we're gonna have an expert speaker. I'll try my presentation to make it shorter, but also I try to combine Uzbek and English, because I see some of you maybe prefer Uzbek as well explanation, but it might take time, but we'll see. So the next one is Gulshoda, then the overall about Horizon, and then we're gonna have experts, or also the Mattia's the presentation as well. So the Gulshoda, if you're here, I'll just open up the I think you have to give Bono. So the Gulshoda's presentation, she's also NCP for Mattia Chiraki. She will be talking very important difficulties we come across finding partners. Finding a right partners, correct partners is half of the success. So more than half of the success, I would say. Even implementation, I think stages you very much need a good So if everything is working, hopefully we can then you may proceed with the presentation. Yeah. Gulshoda, you muted. Mine. Okay.
Are you hearing me? الاشتراك Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, you can hear.
Okay. So, yes. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. So, yes, I would like to share today about the main points, main part of the not only Horizon Europe, but any another EU program. So it will be very useful to each of you. So who is planning to provide, to apply some EU projects, yes? So, and I would like to express our sincere appreciation to our expert, Mattia Chiraki, yes, for the time, expertise, and willingness to contribute to our session. So, and let me start. Yes, of course. So what's happened? Yes. So of course, it's not possible to cover strong partnerships building and partner search in detail within just 10 minutes, however, I will do my best to provide a concise and information overview. Yes, so I would like to say that successful Horizon Europe proposal doesn't begin with partners. It begins with a deep analytical understanding of the call announcement, of call document, main document guidelines. Yes, so this is a critical shift in mindset that distinguish competitive proposals from weak ones. So, and the call announcement and the guide, it's not a just description, but it's a policy-driven document which reflects European priorities, expected impacts, and strategic directions. So, and therefore, applicants must carefully decode three key elements, yes? So expected outcomes and policy priorities, required expertise across sectors, and evaluation criteria. So first of all, you need to clearly understand what the European Commission aims to achieve. They include alignment with EU strategies as a Green Deal, digital transition, sustainability, yes, so and contribution to measurable outcomes and relevance at the European or global level. So a strong proposal directly responds to these priorities, not indirectly, but and not partially. And what about the second part, required expertise? So most Horizon Europe calls require multi-actor and interdisciplinary approach, and this means academic excellence alone is not sufficient. So you need contributions from industry, small, medium enterprises, public institutions, and sometimes civil society. So, and what about the evaluation criteria? So here, every proposal is assessed against three pillars: excellence, impact, and implementation. Excellence shows quality and innovation of the idea. Impact shows expected benefits, and real-world application and implementation shows feasibility and quality of the work plan. So once the goal is analyzed, it must be translated into a structured project architecture, so concrete rules, yes, who does what and why, work package, logical division of tasks and responsibilities, and of course partners profiles. So it shows specific expertise required for each role. So this process ensures that every partner has a clear function and added value, which is essential for evaluation, So a strong consortium is not just a group of institutions, but it's a strategically engineered system designed to solve clearly defined problem, deliver measurable impact, or meet European policy expectations. Yes. So when you are preparing a Horizon Europe proposal, many applicants start by contacting people and they already know, yes, and this is natural, yes, but it's not enough to build a strong consortium, yes. So Horizon Europe projects require different types of expertise, sectors, countries. So your existing network may cover only part of these needs, yes. That's why it's important to look beyond your usual contacts and search for partners more strategically. So the EU funding portal, FTOP, yes, so it's a main tool, and it allows to search for partners, publish a partner request, explore funded projects, and identify experienced organizations. NCPs, so Dr. Jahangir shared the NCPs functions and tasks, yes, how they can be helpful. And of course, participation in brokerage events and information days. So it means if you should also participate in such kind of events, we will share in our channels, in our groups, in Telegram. So, and of course, all these activities help you meet new people, new partners, present your idea, yes, and become visible. So, and of course, you should learn from successful projects instead of guessing, but look at projects that are already receiving funding. Who are partners? Which countries are involved? What roles do different organizations play? Yes, so this helps to understand what a successful consortium looks like and avoid common mistakes. So a strong consortium is not just a group of famous institutions, top institutions, yes. So, but it's a balanced combination of different types of partners. Experienced organizations, so they can bring credibility, understand EU procedures, can manage projects, and new or regional partners, they can bring innovation, provide local knowledge, and support wider impact. Yeah, so a good consortium need both experience and fresh ideas. So, and please, this also one important point, please don't include partners just to increase the number of participants. Yeah, so you should always ask yourself, yeah, what is their role, what value do they add, or do they strengthen their proposal? So each partner should have a clear task and a real contribution. Yeah, so okay. Here we can see several key tools which helps to universities, organizations find international partners. So I told about the FTOP funding and tender portal. So you can use, please use only main and official platforms of the European Commission. Yeah, so you can use it to search for FTOP. I mean, you can use search for partners based on topics and calls. Yes, so in Horizon there are 5 pillars and the Marie Curie program. So, and second, it's the opportunity to publish your own partner search profile and explore previously funded projects. So, and this is important because you can see who is active in your field, which organizations have experience, yes, who could be a strong partner or coordinator for a project. And second, it's also Cordis partner service. So it's a database of EU research and innovation projects. It helps you to find organizations that already worked on similar projects. Yes, understand their expertise, contact them for collaboration. So it's especially useful for identifying experienced partners, learning from successful projects. So why these tools matter? Using these platforms, making your partner search more targeted, more professional, more effective, yes. And instead of randomly contacting people, you're selecting based on their experience, aligning with the project topic, yes, and building a stronger consortium. So don't search for partners randomly, yeah. Use official tools to find relevant, experienced, and reliable partners. So here, we talked about the NCPs already. You know, you are welcome. Yes, so you can contact us, and of course we will do our best to help you find suitable partners, connect you with active researchers and institutions, universities, NGOs, yes, in EU, and give advice on proposal preparation, of course. NCPs are especially useful because they know who is preparing proposals, yes, which organizations are reliable. So, you know, we have such kind of problems in our universities. Many of the universities representatives don't like to read the guidelines or any other instructions, you know. So that's why it's very important. And platforms like LinkedIn and ResearchGate also helps you to build professional connections, identify experts in your field, contact researchers directly. Yeah. So, and of course, this is a good way to increase your visibility, promote your idea, find new collaboration outside your usual network. So, and the last one, next one, it's these are international groups, yes, focused on specific topics or sectors, and they allow you to connect with experts in your field, join ongoing discussions, find partners with the relevant expertise and experience, and conference and workshops, yes. So participating in such kind of events, it's one of the most effective ways to find appropriate partners to your project. Yeah, so you can present your idea face to face, meet potential partners face to face, also discuss collaboration opportunities, and when personal interaction often leads to stronger and more reliable partnerships. Yes, so and my recommendation, don't rely on only one method. Yes, so official tools, you should combine with the official tools, networks and platforms, and of course, real life interaction. Yeah. Okay, so in conclusion, when preparing, I would like to say, so this is very important point, when preparing your partner search profile, keep it short, clear, and focused on the topic. Yes, and avoid general phrases and clearly show what you are good at, what makes you different, and how you can contribute to the project. Yes, so and the aim is to present clear and reliable project, yes, profile that will attract potential applicants. Yes. So here you can see our contacts. You can join to the channel. We have some Telegram groups for different kind of clusters. of this Horizon program. So this is a local one, and I would like to thank to your attention. And if you will have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And we are also inviting you to join to our channel and the groups. And of course, in these channels and groups, we will put the information on upcoming opportunities and events, local events, I mean, and of course, international events. So we look forward to staying in touch with you, yes, and wish you a productive and engaging session today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Alish,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gulshoda. I think the most common question I've been asked as an NCP is how to find a partner, how to build a consortium. Even you have an idea, it's very important how you can find the right team to make it happen, to make an idea to happen, and how to, you know, to draft this architect of being. So thank you very much, Gulshoda. I think also she mentioned that we have groups as well for the specific clusters. So that if you're interested, you can join that one. We try to update information as often as we can. It's not possible, however, to make these sessions as often as we would like, coming from the capacities and the time of yours and ours, but the Telegram groups are quite easy communication tools as well. So I'll go very briefly about my presentation, and then we will invite our expert, Matthias, as well. So it's visible. Okay, maybe at the end the questions, because okay, at the end, if you can do it, questions. Okay, just very briefly before Matthias, because Matthias is going to talk more about practical, how to write the proposals. But before that, it's better to maybe to understand what proposal is in the terms of what calls there is available. Also, do you want me to speak in Uzbek in parallel? Okay, great. That makes the job easy. So okay, good. So very important when we say Horizon. Horizon is not a one call. It's an umbrella term. It's umbrella term. Horizon is quite a big. There is 3 different pillars under the Horizon one. Uzbekistan is very much interested in engaging the pillar 1 and pillar 2. So what is a pillar 1? A pillar 1 is a more bottom-up approach, whereas individual researchers are given opportunities, the fundings to do the research, whereas a pillar 2 is more global. More global in a sense, it requires a bigger team to come international challenges to tackle. Okay, so Maria Skłodowska is MCQ, the short ones. The clusters we are talking about is in pillar 2. The Maria Skłodowska in pillar 1. So I'll be very quick. In the terms of the fundings, the Christos was saying that the free money. So where the free money and where it stays. The biggest one in the cluster 2. The cluster 2 have 53 billion, which is allocated for research in global challenges. So that's what European Union is funding. But when we were talking with Christos, also he said the new budget is getting approved by European Union. It might be even bigger. They're trying to make it even bigger. For excellence, for individual researchers, the cluster 1, which is called excellence in science, is also not bad. It's a 1/4 of the budget which European Union is allocating is 25 billion from the period of 2021-2027. So it's a quite good there. So the Maria Skłodowska getting out of this excellence 6 billion. And it's quite competitive, but at the same time, I can tell Uzbekistan is quite active in Maria Skłodowska. When it comes to the clusters, which cluster is more cool or the stronger? My clusters are culture and the civil security have a smallest one, but it's a relative when we say small. If you're talking about overall funding internationally goes, it's quite a good amount of money. So it's 2 billion, 1.5 billion. But the biggest ones is the cluster 4 and cluster 5, which is a digital industry space, and it's very much engineering, technical intensive ones. And not surprisingly, another biggest is the climate and energy. And the mobility, the one that Christos was saying, the corridor matters, and also sustainability in energy-wise and the climate-wise. Johan Gafurov is also not bad. He have 8 billion, almost 9 billion, also the fundings available. So to be used by 2027. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the details. So how Uzbekistan is doing, we are not doing quite well. Why? Because we have not won much of the clusters. Just recently, Westminster University was the first one of the first ones in Central Asia won the cluster, cluster 4, which was in consortium of 8 million euros, which is considered biggest Uzbekistan won. It's in critical minings. The critical mines. What we are doing good is we are doing good in Maria Skłodowska. We have a 7. Now it's I think there's another new one as well. It's almost become a 9. But the other ones, I think the way the Uzbekistan needs and our scientists needs is to concentrate on the clusters. On the clusters in the areas, that's where I think the potential lies. What we can engage is in the clusters. Okay, so openness, who can participate in Horizon? Horizon is one good thing, and all the same time, the bad thing is anyone can participate. Any country can participate. Okay, so there is no limitation who can participate. However, there is a limitation who can get the funding. So the participation do not have a limitation, but funding have. Okay, so there is also the minimum criteria, how many consortium members have to be there. So the minimum consortium members is 3 European countries, or the 1 European country up to 2 associate countries. I'll come, what does it mean associate country as well? So at least 1 European member state, okay? And 2, the independent legal entity established in the member states and associate country. So the 3 minimum. How many maximum? There is no maximum. However, if you're building consortium, Gulshoda Kiril said, you have to choose very strategically, and it should be manageable. You're not going to just add all the friends of yours and then end up being quite in a mess. So that's very important in counts. But the minimum, there is a requirement. So when we are talking about associate, the third countries, who are they? So I put a map to all these 1/3 associate countries. No names if you don't have a good geography, so it will be difficult to guess who it is. All the yellow ones can participate in Horizon and get fundings. And in the middle one, that's Uzbekistan. Okay, so if you see around all the Uzbekistans also again get and so on. There is some of the new countries also added, become associate one. That's Japan, the Korea, and India its own way. So when it comes to competition, one thing from the other fundings is other fundings gives funding for a region. For Central Asia, you have to compete internally. Horizon, you have to compete internationally. So internationally, it means we are as the country, we can get as much as possible strong members, or so to say consortium, and compete internationally. So there is no regional competition; it's international competition. So how to select the calls? This is very important because there's a lot of calls, and none of them says this is for Uzbekistan. That's just open for everyone. So when it comes to selecting calls, you have to be strategically looking at thematics. For example, one Christos said the corridor or the energy, that might be the hint. Counter-terrorism might be the hint. So the Uzbekistan might be interested. Immigration also might be the hint here. So geographic areas, sometimes the calls themselves identify this. We strongly encourage international collaboration. Or it might say, we prefer if you join the joint Central Asian countries. So such wordings in a call are the very important hints there to see this call might be just right for Central Asia, for Uzbekistan, partners. Another important thing is very important. This comes a lot from European gender equality plan. When you're doing consortium, when you're doing members, this is a very much encouraged the gender equality plan. Especially in the STEM area, very much encouraged that there was a ratio of female engagement as well, encouraging female young researchers also be part of the consortium, part of the team. We even had this is wrong, but we had even selection of consortium members coming to the genders as well. This is a strong European encouragement. So where we can find the fundings, the tenders, I think it's been showed, but I'm not going to go into detail, but I'm going to put the link. So this is the portal. Okay, the ones who have not been a portal, this is a portal. You can find all the fundings, including the Horizon calls. Okay, including Horizon calls. So that I put the link there. I'll be sharing there. So you can check all the possible calls available. By year even, or the ones have not been announced even, is all in the call. So how you gonna do it? For example, I'm just gonna demonstrate in a link. I'm just scared the how it's gonna work in a Zoom, but just to try. It's not visible, yeah? Oh, just forget that. Because we are already running out of time. So what happened? Oh, I should have never done it. Okay, but stop sharing. Okay, and then do what?
And share again.
And then share again.
From here, and then you choose.
Okay. I personally more prefer offline. That's why. So when we are looking, for example, this call, how we can find the call, you can go to the work program, we can select the year, and we can select the main working programs. This is all available here. Mattia Chiraki calls, cultural inclusivity, diversity, the civil, the Johan Gafurov one, food. So if you would like to know more about the call, so you're gonna just press it. Is it still working? Okay, good. So you can see all the calls available here for 2026 and 2027 as well. So how do we gonna find the right one? Just gonna do the search, like I told you. Especially, for example, if you do the Central Asia, or something, it comes up saying European Union, Central Asia, very much encouraged to take part. So this might be the calls more likely to have a better chances added to the consortium or winning chances, because this is how the call encourages it. Or if you say international collaboration, very much one, or the regions which are affected highly. So this is all might be the key to analyzing and finding. That's why the Christos, the presentation is very strategically important to know what the European Union is planning, so we can be part of this collaboration and so on. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this one and just oh God, do the okay. Let me find it first. Okay, okay. So you can see the calls and all of them is here available and so on. So the calls are opening up. Some of them now in May it's going to be opened up, but the deadlines, it takes a 2 months time and then it closes down. So the calls itself will have a title, and the title itself might give you the name, what this call is about, whether you might be the good fit for your ideas and so on. I highlight some of the clusters which might be interesting. For example, the Pact on Immigration and Asylum Partner in Illegal Pathways. Let's say. So do we have to look from the perspective of Central Asians' interest and also from the Europeans one, or the energy might be same, green transition, security energies. So this is a calls never say that calls for you. You have to be able to come in the interest of the European Global Gateways one, EPC contracts we signed, the recent discussion government had with European Union to select which calls gonna be the best fit for you to apply and try it. Okay, so again, I'm not going to take much of your time. This is all available. I'll put it there. Now we are a little bit out of time, so I have to ask then proceed with the next speaker. Mattia, Are you here? Is it here? I can see the. Maybe I'm saying the name wrong. Chiraki. Hello. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop the sharing. So I'll give to the Mattia next one. So, Bono, you can give here. Mattia. Okay, then I'll invite our expert on the Horizon project, Mattia Chiraki. So thank you very much.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me quite well from the audience physically as well. So I'm going to share my presentation. So as mentioned, you already had the opportunity to have a presentation and overview on Horizon Europe and on how to like the main instruments to find calls, to find topics. I will try now in like next 40 minutes to illustrate like and give you some practical tips, suggestions to prepare a proposal to be ready to join a European consortium, a European-led consortium, and prepare your proposal under Horizon Europe. Of course, there are like just some information. I mean, you have the opportunities to like to deep your knowledge through like further trainings, some materials you have online in the funding and tenders portal. I mean, let's focus on these on how to prepare a proposal. It's yeah, I mean, it's important like to give you some general guidelines step by step on these. What we will, I mean, I divided the presentation into three parts. So like the first one will be on funding, but you already had this part covered by my colleague, and to understand the topic, to get ready, like to join a consortium and prepare the proposal, and of course on the last part on the evaluation process. And how to maximize your scores. Then we will have, I think, I can stay for other like 15 minutes for the Q&A session. So let's start with the most, I mean, like critical success factor, I would say, selecting the right topic and reading it correctly. Just one slide, maybe like from the deadline to grant signature. I mean, like Horizon Europe follows a sort of structured time to grant process. It's important to understand that, of course, like the call opens like on average at least 3 months before the deadline. But I mean, like normally the process of preparing a proposal starts even early. I mean, like from looking for the right topic, like to I mean, network and join a potentially successful consortium, which is like the most complicated part for a non-European organization. So that's very important. I want, I mean, like I will not focus on this because it's not what I have to do today. But the most important part really is not to write the proposal in your case, but it's is to have a solid network and be ready to join the European group of organizations preparing a proposal. So the writing process is the last part, is a joint effort. You need to understand, of course, how it works, but it's mainly the coordinator, it's mainly the European coordinator that is in charge of this process. So it's I think it's important to understand. So, I mean, you have like this, I mean, this structure. We have Horizon Europe, we have the program, of course. We have the call that are like group of topics, and then you have the topic. The topic is the part. I mean, like is the part of the work program text you need to address to start thinking if your idea can fit into what the European Commission is asking. So that part is called the topic again. Yeah, I mean, just one point. I mean, important like that. Horizon Europe focus only. I mean, like so far at least, mainly on civil applications, and there are like some activities that are excluded on. I mean, like from what you can. I mean, you can carry out during the project phase, and it's. I mean, like one small point, but I think important. To highlight again. I mean, then we have, I mean, very different type of projects, type of actions. I mean, speaking on like collaborative projects, so I mean, projects like with a group organizations as applicants, you have three main types, which are research innovation actions, and coordination and support actions. But you also have, as was mentioned before, the individual projects. So projects that are more like for individual researchers, like, for example, some schemes under the European Research Council or some actions under the Marie Curie program. So what I'm saying today mainly refers to the collaborative projects, which is also like the standard type of actions for Horizon Europe. Where like different organizations from different countries are I mean, put together like to submit a proposal. Then you have a slide, I mean, where these type of actions are described in like in more detail, but I mean, again, this is just a slide, and you can then find all the information on the official website of the European Commission. Yeah, this is the interface already mentioned, the European Funding and Tenders portal. I mean, everything from like the topic analysis to like the submission procedure is done on the portal. You have the filters, but this has been already said. So there are like two main ways, I mean, to find information on the topic. One is directly on the Funding and Tenders portal, and you have, as I said, the possibility to filter different topics and to find the right one. Otherwise, you have also the work program. I think, I mean, like the best option is like to look at both because there are like the same information, but maybe organized differently. So I would strongly recommend to look first and to find maybe your topic on the Funding and Tenders portal, but then to check the physical documents as was showed before, like to verify all the informations that are maybe like better organized. And of course, you have also some supporting documents that you can find here. I mean, topic description is like the main page, topic updates. So like this page is also, I mean, I think very relevant to check time to time to see also, I mean, even after like the topic of publications, if there are some updates, some news on the topic, some like maybe Q&A question and answers from the Commission, like to some applicants and so on. This is from the work program. That there is the other way. as was mentioned before, you have like the list of the different parts of Horizon Europe that are addressed to different documents that we call work programs. And then you have this is how it looks from the document section. So you have like different call that are group of topics, and then you have the single topics. The single topic is Horizon, in this case cluster 2 2024. So you have in the topic ID the name of the program, the name of the cluster in this case, so the big part in Horizon Europe that where you can find this topic. You have the year, in this case 2024, is the year where when the topic was published. You have democracy, which is the name of the call, and then you have the code is 0101 of the topic. In this case, you have also the name of the topic. Protest politics and culture of opposition in democracy. You have all the other like topic title. So topic ID and topic title, and then you have like the possibility to look at the different topic sections. So it's important. We have three main, I would say, three main sections in the topic. One is about the specific conditions. So besides Horizon Europe general rules that you already know, you could have specific conditions for this topic. For example, the type of action, the eligibility conditions, of course, like in addition to the general annexes, the indicative budget of the topic, and the expected contribution per project. For example, this is, it's important to have an idea on, for example, on how many projects the European Commission is going to fund under this topic. In this case, for example, we have 9 million as the overall budget, and a contribution per project from 2 to 3 million. So this means that we can expect under this topic that the European Commission funds three different projects. Then you have the expected outcome part, where basically you have the what the European Union is expecting from that project that are going to be funded, and then you have the scope that introduce the general context of the argument, and it can give you some further information on for example on the specific partners you need to look for, like the indications on the typology of organizations that are needed to be involved in the consortium, or like maybe some link to past founded projects, which are very important because can give you also an idea on the typology of partners to look for. So like everything starts from the reading of the topic, which is again articulated into these three main parts: the specific conditions, the expected outcomes, so which are like the objectives of the European Union for this specific funding opportunity, and then the scope, meaning the context, the activities, the indications for partners, or for other initiatives. Again, another example of the eligibility conditions. In this case, you can have also some indications on if there are like some countries which are specifically targeted, or some countries that are excluded for this action. So it's it's another example for of the importance of this section. In the topic text, you can find also some like indications on a technology readiness level, which is this, I mean, like scale used for Horizon Europe projects, and sometimes you can have hints, for example, in the topic text that say maybe like that activities of the projects needs to start at TRL 4, for example, and end at TRL 6. So it's, I mean, of course, like it's a common scale for technology maturity, and it's important to keep in mind when applying and when approaching Horizon Europe calls as well. So, like after those basic information on the topic like text, the topic decoding, the topic like elements, I would like to go like, I mean, like to the practical preparation of the proposal. I mean, starting from the admissibility conditions and like some general like page limits you can find for all the different typologies of projects. Those are like the updated one, so it's a novelty from 2026. And I mean, there is like a tendency to reduce the page limits for the different typologies of actions. So keep in mind that at that limits. Again, I want to stress this because I mean this effort is normally, I mean, like all the different rules of preparing a proposal is, I mean, is responsibility of the European partner coordinating the proposal preparation phase. Okay, so partners from Uzbekistan, of course, I mean, need to know all the different rules, but they are asked to contribute normally, okay? Not to lead the proposal. This is a very important, I think, to understand. So the proposal template is divided into two main parts: the part A and the part B. The part A are the online forms, and the part B is the narrative part. Is normally like uploaded as a PDF document. So it's important to always download the topic specific template from the submission system. Again, there is something that is done by the coordinator, and like other important that the part B, the narrative part, follows the three evaluation criteria that in the case of Horizon Europe are excellence, impact, and implementation. So again, I mean, part A, administration data, participants, budget, ethics, security questionnaires. So it's important, of course, like, but I mean, are pretty like easy to fill in with a bit of attention, of course. And then there is the part B, of course, the real part where a project wins or loses. You need to follow, of course, again, the template structure and instruction. Of course, page limits are important because, I mean, like if you exceed the page limits, the part exceeding the limits is not to be considered for evaluation. Of course, to respect the deadline, I mean, of course, like to have also a final check on the PDF. This is something that also partners, not only the coordinator, can do. It's important. I mean, like to build this as a collective effort. The criteria are the same. I mean, like excellence, impact, quality, and efficiency of implementation. There are some like novelties specifically for Horizon Europe, but like now that we are in the 6 years of Horizon Europe, these are like elements that are, I mean, common for European funded projects like the Open Science, which is assessed in the methodology. the impact which is framed via these key impact pathways, and the evaluation of the applicant capacity, which is done under the implementation section. So this is the full, the description in detail of the three section under the part B of the proposal template. General, okay? So like you have some templates which are specifically for European Research Council schemes for Skłodowska-Curie reactions. So now, I'm just like illustrating what is the general proposal template. I will summarize this also via the key principle to write a proposal. So let's remember those six main things. Like first of all, ambition. The project should be beyond the state of the art. Of course, like researchers in charge of the proposals needs to understand which is which means like this, the beyond the state of the art in terms of project idea and ambitions, a credible pathway to expected outcomes and impacts, concrete measures for dissemination, exploitation, and communication, a coherent work plan, resources and consortium roles, and a methodology that can address interdisciplinarity, gender dimension, open science, where those aspects are relevant. And to write every section, like having in mind what the evaluators that are not necessarily experts in your topic can understand. So those are like our suggestions for the proposal writing. Some consideration, of course, across Horizon Europe, evaluators often expect you to address cross-cutting aspects, open science, again, gender dimension, pathway to impact maximization, sometimes artificial intelligence aspects. Don't need to, to write long sentences, long text, be clear, credible, and capable of handling these aspects. Open science, again, to keep in mind that there is the immediate open access to publications, mandatory data management plans with the FAIR principles, as open as possible, as close as necessary. And in the proposals, it's important to specify what you will share, when, where, and how to manage IPR. I'm not going into details on this, but you have also some guidelines on legal and financial aspects that are important for this. Gender dimension, again, I will leave you these slides. Again, important here is the link between policy priorities, like what there is described, policy priorities in the beginning, what there is described in the topic as expected outcomes, and the project results. So it's really important, the link between European policy priorities, the translations of these policy priorities into orientations for research and innovation, and expected outcomes, and what you describes as your future project results. This is one of the most important aspects of the proposal writing. Again, collective effort led by the European coordinator. We have the case that many proposals lose point when needs to convince, to draft a convincing plan to maximize the impact. This means like to separate clearly dissemination, so the scientific and technical diffusion, the exploitation, so the uptake, the scaling, the business, the policy use, and communication, which is the visibility the stakeholder engagement, and the public as a target. So it's really important for all these three aspects of the measures to maximize the impact to include the target groups, channels, timing during and after the project, IP strategy, and realistic follow-up actions. I will mention these other aspects that was recently introduced in the Erasmus Europe proposal. So the don't significant harm principle. It's important because it's in line with the European Green Deal objectives. And also the artificial intelligence. It's becoming more and more important to consider the AI aspects when writing a proposals. I would mention here, it's not new, of course, it's a novelty of the last 2-3 years, but there are some guidelines for the use of generative artificial intelligence tools when preparing a proposal. So it's not it's not forbidden to use AI tools, but there are clear guidelines on how to use both for applicants but also for evaluators. Okay, it's becoming more and more important to address this issue, and you have also the guidelines that you can easily access by the official European Commission website. So in the end, what are the frequent shortcomings? Excellence not aligned with the goal, not ambitious, and missing mandatory requirements for the impact, weak or unclear pathway to the impact, and poor differentiation, for example, between communication, dissemination, and exploitation. For the implementation part, work packages which are not clear, weak links to objectives, and not sufficient detail and justified resources, or weak operational capacity of the organizations. So those are some example of checklist that you can use for while preparing the proposal. Some preparation tips, like some practical habits. Of course, read the work programs and annexes carefully, follow templates and page limits, check similar funded projects, use the partner search plus the brokerage events opportunities, involve the partners in drafting. This is more like suggestions for the coordinator of the proposal preparation phase. Don't underestimate the effort for communication, dissemination, exploitation, and also submit few days early the deadline. So yeah, topic fit, early submission, and considering the different aspects. Other tips, like keeping in mind what the evaluators thinks. It's important to grab the evaluator's attention, use simple language, make information in the proposal proposal template easy to find for the evaluators. Submission is something you can do easily online. Again, this is something that the coordinator is normally doing. You have the different roles under this on this slide, and I will leave you some slides for this. I now ending this this presentation, let's look also at how the proposals are evaluated. We already mentioned the three evaluation criteria: excellence, impact, and implementation. And you can look here at what is the proposal evaluation process of 5 months to evaluate the proposal, more or less 3 months to prepare the grant agreement. The time to grant, so the like more or less is must be under 7-8 months on average. And you will receive the pre-financing if I mean, like when the grant like beneficiaries receive the pre-financing when the grant is after the grant is signed, and you can begin with the activities. Important, I mean, like to highlight that proposals are evaluated by independent external experts against the criteria defined in the work program, as said. At least 3 experts assess each proposal, and the process moves from, I mean, like from individual reviews to a consensus opinion. Then it's the panel to establish a ranking list, and outcomes include the founded proposals, reserve list, and rejected for budget, for lack of budget or lack of quality. So this is again the standard evaluation process, as I mean, summarized under these slides. What normally like applicants receive, not only the coordinators but all the applicants, is an evaluation letter and evaluation summary report. So you have then some differences if the proposal is like the topic is at 2 stages or only one stage, but I mean, like it's important to use the evaluation summary report as a roadmap. I mean, like it tells you where evaluators saw your weaknesses. So again, it's the feedback, and it's also, I mean, essential to prepare future applications. Like some guiding principles in evaluations, I mean, I will leave you these slides, are mainly for like to understand also how evaluators are briefed by the European Commission, and how evaluation is I mean, developed. Very important here. I mean, if you want to understand evaluation quickly, I mean, like maybe to have the opportunity to be selected by the European Commission to evaluate proposals, I strongly recommend to register to this expert database. I mean, and probably you will be selected to evaluate the proposals, which is, I mean, a very good way also to learn how to prepare your own proposal application. Like just some like insights for like to receive for the support, I think is relevant. Of course, the information days. I mean, you can. I mean, some of them are already passed, but you can easily like rewatch the registrations, the live streaming, because it's. I mean, it's really relevant if you want to prepare for the call of this year or like next year, which is the last one of the current Horizon Europe. We have already, I mean, we have also the app, which is You Funding and Me, and you can download from your smartphone store. And again, I mean, further support, which is like multiple sources. You can have like the online manual, the IT guide. So there are really a lot of resources for this. I mean, for the proposal preparation phase. Really, there is also the research inquiry services, which replies to the most general questions for Horizon Europe applications. So really, lots of I mean, opportunities also to receive specific feedback. I will stop here, but I mean, I think we will have a common Q&A session, so I'm ready to reply, like maybe many informations in a short time, but I'm ready to reply to your questions if you have like with other colleagues. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mattia, I'm sorry, I think you didn't hear us as well. So thank you very much, Mattia. Can
No
you hear
worries.
us?
Yeah. I was trying to
Thank
to see if there was like some technical problems
No,
for
no,
me, but was
it
mute.
was an awkward silence after your presentation. So
Okay.
we were talking, but we were muted. So thank you very much for your presentation, first of all. It's very insightful, useful. The couple of things, will it be possible to get PowerPoints? And secondly is we were recording, but now we are asking the consent. Is it okay to record and also post it in the YouTube? The National Erasmus Office would like to post on their website or on the YouTube channel where they can have a bigger coverage of the participants who couldn't attend this one, and maybe they can watch the video as well. Okay. The question we had, one of the participants in the fashion industry, sustainability, is there one of the clusters which covers and which cluster she can look to comes to the sustainability of fashion industry overall? Yes? Yeah. If no, then my answer is it's a cluster 5. The cluster 5 NCP is not here, but what we can do after our session, we have a group which all the NCPs are present. So it's possible directly reach the NCP. We can tell about the look up for a call, but it's always better to directly reach the NCP which is responsible, because they have quite good possibilities as well, asking more specific questions from the call authors or the European Union directly related to the call. Okay? Yeah, I hope this answers. Okay, any other questions on the, yeah?
My name is Murtaza Diazi. I'm the Associate Dean of Research and Partnership of WIUT Business School. First of all, I would like to thank you all presenters for insightful presentation. I'm also grateful to Alicia for organizing such an event at WIUT and giving us opportunity to ask and to learn about the Horizon project. My question from Christos, or anyone else can also answer this, like how can universities like WIUT work closely with the European Union, especially through program like a Horizon and Gateway project to start to initiate joint projects and also access these fundings. Thank you very much.
I don't know if Mattia, you can tell us how can partner countries be part of designing maybe the Horizon program. Let's say, how do we design that in Brussels? Do we get inputs from partners on the topics? I don't know if that's the kind of the question that around the direction. If you have any idea how that's being formulated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you mean how can contribute to the proposal writing process? That's the question. Because to design the program, it means like the question is more political.
Yeah, like how we can get these like a Horizon project as well as the Gateway projects to access these fundings and opportunities, how to do it and how to organize and how to design the proposals and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to mention in the beginning that I mean, like the main obstacle, I would say, for non-European organizations is, I mean, to look for European partners and to find the right consortium, okay? Because I mean, we are speaking about collaborative projects, so you need, first of all, I mean, as said, you need to put together different organizations from different countries to apply to Horizon Europe. That's the main, I mean, like the golden rule of our European program, no? Because we have different countries, so like the European added value is to put different organizations from different countries. The minimum requirement, as you know, is to have 3 European organizations in the consortium, and then you can add like organizations from other countries, including Uzbekistan. So what an Uzbekistan university research centers or companies need to think, it was not in my presentation, but I think it's important to highlight, is to find the ways, I mean, through its own contacts, its own I mean, collaborations already established, to look at potentially, I mean, potential European organizations from Italy, from Germany, from France, from all the other European countries that could be maybe interested in applying to this topic where you are interested as well. Okay. Once you have, I mean, there are like multiple sources for this. European Partner Search, there is the Funding and Tenders Tools, there is the Cordis database where all the past projects are like listed. You have the brokerage events. So you have specific tools, but you have also your contacts, okay? Once you find the European coordinator, like that is in charge of the proposal preparation phase, I mean, all the rest is pretty like easier, okay? Because I mean, it's mainly the coordinator to steer the process, to ask you like in which part you need to contribute. If you need to develop specific activities in Uzbekistan, for example, that will be your task, and you need to write your task. So the main, I mean, from my experience, from my point of view, the main obstacle is to find European partners and to like to be able to sell yourself, your organization, to get on board in a consortium. Okay. Then there is what I presented today. So then there is the proposal writing process. Okay, but that is a collective effort. Yeah. I hope to have at least like try to reply to your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Horini. Thank you so much, Mattia, for the valuable and quality of your presentation and your informations. And I'm just now Marie Curie PhD scholar in Germany from Uzbekistan, and we have so many PhD scholar from Uzbekistan. Marie Curie, I mean, is it possible to write co-funding proposal for the EU contributions this time? I mean, PhD time.
I didn't get the real question actually, so yeah. What's your specific case? So you are a PhD. Yeah. If you can, because
I'm gonna to write some of research proposal for the including Uzbekistan University, one of Uzbekistan University, maybe Turin Polytechnical University, or another kind of research university for the 5 European university included. Is it possible to write the same time of PhD students?
Yeah, I mean, it's of course you can take part of proposal preparation as a PhD student. Is what is like my main suggestion, as you are in Germany, if I'm not wrong. It's like to I mean to ask to get in touch with like grant office of the European office at your university to find support. It's not, I mean, it's not really needed, and I think it's not the best way to I mean to be alone in this process. So if you have contacts, or if you were in Germany, the first I mean, like, my suggestion would be to get in touch with the international department. I don't know how the university is organized, but with the international office of your university, which is I mean, like has the duty to support professors, researchers in preparing Horizon Europe proposals. Okay, that would be my main suggestion for you. Yeah, PhD students are normally part of a research team, but yeah, I mean, nothing prevents like that they can start proposal preparation. Yeah.
Yeah, my second question about part B. Part B, how many? I mean, a minimum of chapters has got or not? I mean, how many chapters will include Uzbekistan University or European University? Main sections, I mean.
Yeah, no, you don't have chapters in the proposal. Yeah, you have the section and you need to follow the templates. Okay, I mean, if you are meaning like about proposal parts, so there is no, I mean, of course, I mean, you can articulate the proposal writing, I mean, like the proposal in different parts, but you need to strictly follow the template, which is different. I mean, but like the basic template, that's the one I showed in the presentation. Okay. If you means like in terms of partners, you have normally for a collaborative project at least 3 partners from European countries, and then you can add other partners from Uzbekistan, for example. So there is no maximum of partners, no maximum number of organizations to be involved. Okay, but each organization needs to fit for the role that the projects foresees. Okay, we cannot add partners for the sake of adding partners. We need to have for a partner, for organization in the project, a specific role that that organization can take.
Yeah, I get it. And could you tell me what kind of minimum sections? I mean,
Marufak, I think that we are running out of time. Maybe we can answer at NCPs later, but it's already time. Let's see if others do not have questions. Maybe then next time I think that we can provide more information about it. Okay. Any other questions from any?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If no, okay. Then to all the speakers and also all the participants, thank you very much. It was a very nice event, session. I hope it was very useful. Looking forward to more and more projects and more participation. So we're gonna have this traditional photo. If you come forward, we can make one photo for a post, and then we're gonna conclude. Also, thank you very much for the online participants as well.
Thank you so much.